On Point Live is on the air. Hi, everybody. I'm your host, Michael Horn. But the stars of our show are a couple of great football fanatics. These guys know everything about the game. We're talking about the Rams quarterback. He played at the Green Bay. He played Buffalo. He played in Canada. The one and only Vince Ferragamo. Vince, how you doing this week?
Very good, Michael. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well.
Good.
It's good. There's another guy with us today, too, the offensive lineman, a guy in the Hall of Fame, Jackie Slater. And you know that's not a tough enough name for you because it's like Jackie. It could either be Jack Slater.
Jackie, how about Jackie Ray Slater?
Is that the middle name?
Yes.
That is
Does
it,
that
man.
give it a little more grit?
You could be an assassin with that name. Jackie Ray Slater, the offensive lineman that gets the job done. How you doing, Jackie?
Oh, pretty good. I'm just excited about this season winding down and finding out who the best players and the best coaches are and who's going to step up, and looking forward to all of that.
Boy, what about those playoffs last weekend, huh, Vince? That's something
man,
else.
It was just loaded with games. The divisional playoff games were man, it was the excitement,
Yeah.
you know, all the anticipation
Close
of these
games.
teams. And, you know, the 8 best teams
Yeah.
actually were playing.
A lot of
last week.
surprises, too,
Yeah.
Vince. A lot of
Yeah,
surprises.
really.
Yeah, they're big plays. The cold weather games, I think, really had a effect on the game. I think, and then the home team advantage was a big plus.
Well, I
except
picked,
for Detroit, they came up short.
I went
Yeah.
1-3. I don't know what you guys did, but it was a tough week for
We were
me.
2-2.
Yeah, I'm sure. That was good. Now, you want to check us out on our website. It's onpointlive.net. Go to the website, see these guys, listen and read about them, onpointlive.net. We have right here our YouTube channel that's available for you to see the show On Point with Vince and Jackie. Subscribe to that. You can follow us on Instagram, on.point.live. Go to crntalk.com, where the radio show goes on Sports Byline and CRN Talk to stations around the country. You may be listening on one of them right now. And don't forget to enter our ongoing contest to win Harmony Cheese packages with a Vince Ferragamo bottle of wine. It is fabulous. We're going to give one away today on the show. So stay with us here. We're going to really have that going for you. The wine is delicious, am I understanding right? This is a Super Tuscan?
Well, especially with these cheeses, then the pairings are great. I mean, it's cheddar cheeses, the charcuterie board that they've got. I mean, it's amazing.
And I will mention this. Your name, Vince Ferragamo, maybe we toughen you up a little bit. How about the middle name, Rocco? Vince
Anthony.
Rocco.
Antonio.
Or we could be, how about Vince the Wine Man?
Well, that's
Mr.
good
Wine
too.
Man.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's pretty good
I play
wine,
with
isn't it, Jackie?
Yes, it is.
And the Harmony
Especially
cheese.
the Carissa J.
Yeah, and you're a cheesemonger. Jackie
Yes,
knows all about
the
cheese.
Abrigelli is just
It's your favorite, right?
smoked Gouda.
HarmonyCheese.com. Get ready for the big game.
Harmony cheese.
Get ready for the show. We'll be right back in just a few minutes. On Point Live. Thanks for joining us. Welcome back to On Point Live. I'm your host, Michael Horn. The stars of our show, Vince Ferragamo, Jackie Slater from the Los Angeles Rams and beyond. They're incredible in football Hall of Famer, guy that took the Rams to the Super Bowl, Vince Ferragamo. Jackie, you were there as well, too, as I recall.
Yes, I was.
I
I was along for the ride.
He was there, Hall of Famer, lineman, offensive lineman of the year as well, too. We are trying something new on the show today. And remember, our website, onpointlive.net, and you can email us. You can email at onpoint, ONPOINT, at crntalk.com, onpoint at crntalk.com. Email, send us your name and address, and we'll go ahead and enter you in a prize, in a drawing for Harmony Cheese and Vince Ferragamo wine, a little package that we will send out to you. And so today we're doing something special besides giving away one of those prize packs, is we're going to open the phone lines. We don't know what we're going to get. We've opened them up for the first time here. If you missed the opening of the show, you missed the whole thing. We set it up. And apparently we have a gentleman on the line who knows you, Jackie Slater, and knows you, Vince Ferragamo, a guy, and I think we should be careful on the 7-second delay here. Crazy Dave is on the line with us.
Well, we've talked to him before
Dave,
Yeah,
a
we
couple
talked
times.
to Crazy Dave before.
Yeah, he likes to call in.
Crazy Dave, can we call you Crazy Dave or just Crazy?
You can call me whatever you want to, but they both work. They both apply.
Where are you calling from, Crazy Dave? What area?
Westlake Village, California, just a few miles north of where you guys are, probably.
Westlake Village. Doesn't Dallas work out there before the season? Is there out there?
Well, Dallas works out in Oxnard, so they're a little farther out.
Yeah.
But we have a bevy of current fans that live in my city and close by because they work out, or they have been working at Kalamazoo, and their headquarters are in Agora, which is very close to here.
Dave,
And so
you
they're all
guys
moved.
are pretty safe with the fires.
I was
back
just
there,
going to
weren't
ask
you?
him the
Yeah.
same thing.
Dave, are you on a speakerphone or something like that?
I'm not. I'm on my cell phone. Is this a bad reception?
Move your head around a little bit so we get a little better reception.
How about now?
That sounds better there.
That's
Okay.
good.
Yeah, go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, I was going to ask you. We were hopeful that you and your family were not impacted by the recent fires here in Southern California.
No, we weren't, but sadly, and Vince, you know one guy who we went to school with years and years ago to Orlando. He lost his house. So we do. It's a little impacted in fine, but it didn't impact me directly.
So you didn't have to evacuate or anything, right, Dave?
We didn't have to evacuate. We lost power off for a couple of days, but we didn't have to evacuate.
Well, you know where my brother lives. He lives in Agora. They had to evacuate. Right. They had to leave for a little bit, but I'm glad it didn't spread.
He's got a lot more brush and a lot more,
Yes.
higher possibility where he lives than where I do.
All right, so Dave, what's your question for these guys here? They're experts. Where they're going to be analyzing all the playoff games up till now. They'll be looking at the weekend's games, looking beyond maybe even to the Super Bowl. They might even have a pick or two from or some thoughts from the college the final game there of the year.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So what's your question for Vince and Jackie?
I got to see. But the first one I want to start with is what happens if the Rams actually stop Saquon Barkley?
If they stop him, what happens if the Rams stop
Obviously.
Saquon Barkley? What happens?
I can answer that one, Jackie.
Yeah.
They win the game.
That's
I mean,
exactly
he had the
right.
2 long runs, rushed for over 200 yards, Dave. In this game, the first time they played, he rushed for 255 yards, put him in line to break the record, the all-time leading rush record. But, he's just a phenom.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
now I think the surprising thing is, though, Jackie, they're getting away from the passing game because they have so much success running the football. All they want to do is hand the ball off or let Jalen Hurts run it.
Well, they're going to have to change that because one of the things that we have found, you can go all the way back to the Washington football team when they had the big backs that they featured all the time. You can't win the big games unless you're running the football and passing it. I mean, I'm a big proponent, as you know, Vince, of running the football. I believe that neutralizes a lot of pass rush and creates a lot of bad situations for a defense. Little guys got to come up and get physical with big backs and stuff. So I love running the ball. But I would not have been worth my salty sweat as a blocker if I didn't have several opportunities thrown in there to mix it up with these guys pass blocking. So you got to have a good mixture of both, and I didn't really see that.
Well, Dave, you got to be into the game too, because like A.J. Brown, I don't know why he goes to the sideline, Jackie, and he brings a book with him and he starts reading a book. I think I'd be reading the playbook.
Well,
not an
he
outside
says that book
but
helps him. In fact, it's a best
relaxes him,
It's
maybe.
going up on the bestseller list
Right.
to make you mentally a better player. That's
Well,
that's
is
what
it
he
a
Well,
says.
that's the first time in the history.
distraction, though?
That's the first
I
time in
think
the
so, Vince.
history of the game that I've heard of somebody standing
Reading
on
a
the
book.
sideline
Yeah, reading a book.
in an intense competitive
Yes.
environment reading a doggone
Let me ask
book.
you.
I'd read it after the game or before the game.
You're the coach. You
Read
guys
it
are
before
the
the game. Read it at halftime.
Jackie, you're a coach on that guy's team. Do you let him
You
read
put
the book?
The book's got to go.
Well,
No,
Vince,
when
how
we're
about
out
you?
here
I
on
think
the field,
so
we're
too.
focusing on football.
I think it's a distraction.
It is a
And
distraction.
I think you need to concentrate. You have to have 100% concentration
Effort, mental
on
focus.
my opponent, my plays that are going to come up. What do I need to do better? How do I have to go out there and make a play?
And
You know,
Vince,
that's got to be on your mind.
Vince, you know as well as anybody, when we're sitting out there on those sidelines, there's nothing more distracting than watching one of your teammates that's off in a different environment.
That's like turning around, Dave, and looking at cheerleaders on the sideline.
Yeah,
100%.
we can't be doing that.
Exactly.
We can't be doing that.
Dave, would you, if you're the coach, would you say cool it, shut the book?
I've always been the team one. The team C united, and you guys all got to be. Everybody's got to be on the. You've got to be working together, and you can't have the distraction. Was Jared Burke a distraction? Do you think with his comments?
It is a distraction. Back off that phone a little bit, Dave.
Yeah,
We're having a hard time.
I think maybe you need to put the phone to your ear and take it off a speaker. That might be the problem.
Well, okay, but I did that before, so let's finish. Is that right now?
And
You
turn
know,
the
Dave's a
volume
big
down on ours a
football
little bit
fan.
there.
He's a big football fan.
Say it again
Yeah,
there.
he's
Crazy. Are you there? Can we hear you now?
Yeah. You think is it set out now?
Yeah, it's a little bit better. If you
That's
talk a little softer, I think it'll be
Yeah.
better. So
All
Crazy.
right, 'cause I
You
got
got to
the
ask
bottom
him
here.
about the quarterback.
Please.
Okay, Dave, I got to ask you a question.
You're
You
gonna
know,
ask
of all-
Dave a question.
These 4 teams that have advanced, what out of those 4 teams, which quarterback are you most enthralled with? I mean, who do you think is who's going to impress here?
I think Jaden Daniels is just assessment. and I think that he can take the. I think if the Redskins or Commanders, play like they played on Saturday, nobody can beat them.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you know what? That's because you're an SEC guy.
That's
right.
All right.
He's
so I'll
from
tell you what,
understand
Dave,
a mumbling word.
LSU.
hang up, Dave, and call us right back on that
Yeah,
same
couldn't
number.
understand a
Let's
mumbling
see if-
word you
Yeah,
said.
we're not hearing Dave, and it's crazy. Maybe he's doing some kind of a dialect.
Well, this guy has. This,
I heard him
No,
fine,
crazy.
guys. I don't know. Maybe it's my
you
earbuds.
talking to
This
him
is
too
what I
long.
tell you about Dave. This
Yes.
is what I gathered about him with him calling in over the years. I know that he's an SEC guy, so he's been following football for
Tennessee.
He's been following football for a long, long time.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I've noticed about him that he can distinguish as well as the trained eye with Vince and I, and that is playing the wrong personnel at the wrong time and making poor decisions at the wrong time. He's all over it.
Because he's watched this for a while. Do we have him
Oh,
back? Yeah, pop him back in again. Dave, let's see if you're any better now. Hello. Dave? Dave? Dave can't hear us.
Yeah, there he is.
Dave, I'm sorry. We're going to have to get you later.
Yeah,
It's
we're
just
gonna,
a-
we're gonna have to.
But Dave, we love you. Call back again. Our experiment sort of failed, but we'll see if we can get you a better phone next week. They got a sale
Way to
on
go, Dave.
Verizon at iPhones. Check
Good
'em
talking
out.
to you, Dave.
All right, good. We don't even have anything to award Dave over there. We'll call him next
Well,
week.
yeah, maybe he needs a bottle of wine.
Well,
or
he'll
something
get
over there and some
rewarded once
cheese.
he comes through loud and clear.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's good. Well, maybe in a few weeks we'll take another call. I don't know. Let's get into a little bit of analysis here a little bit. Kansas City
Oh, boy.
last weekend, 23, Houston Texans 14. A lot of people thought the Texans might win. I picked Kansas City. That's my one big win. Big deal. What do you guys think?
Well, okay, let's look at these games. The Texans, it's been a game of turnovers, okay, in the postseason. You can't make mistakes. And when you make mistakes, they're just, they just come up like crazy.
Right,
You know,
they hurt
and-
you.
and
They hurt you.
They really do. They magnify the game outcome. And they made two mistakes that game. And that was, they beat them statistically, but the Chiefs make the plays when they count. And that's the difference.
That's what
They
you got to
they have
do.
the players.
Jackie, you agree with that?
I agree with that 100%. You can't. If you turn the football over twice, you got an 80% chance of losing it, and that's exactly what they did.
We'd give out the phone number on our show, but we're repairing our phone lines right now after Crazy Dave called in. So we'll remind you, check out our website, onpointlive.net, Instagram, on.point.live, YouTube channel, On Point Live with Vince and Jackie. You can also get it at CRN Digital Talk. And email us, onpoint@crntalk.com, onpoint@crntalk.com. We'll be right back on the show. Stay with us here. Welcome back on Point Live. I'm Michael Horn. A shout out to our producer, Corey Guru Marino, doing a good job for us on the show today.
The
And
guru.
The stories,
right,
the
man. That's
stars
Mr.
of our show with the great stories. Jackie Ray Slater, ladies and gentlemen, the toughness of the Ray is in there. And we got Vince
Vincenzo
Wineman.
Ferragamo.
What is it?
Vincenzo.
Vincenzo, that's good.
Vincenzo.
Vincenzo
That's right.
Ferragamo is very
There you
good.
go. Thank you.
That's tough there, especially when you get into that. You played in Canada. You could play in the Italian league now.
Play everywhere,
Very
yeah.
good.
They have a World Football League.
Anyway, let's continue with our look here of last week's big games over there. We started off with Kansas City 23, Houston Texans 14. The Texans put on a shot here, but, Andy Reid, Mahomes, you got all these great players on the team on Kansas City. They just rolled on. You're right. They come on when they need to come on.
They make the plays when they have to, Michael. But D'Amico Ryans had a great game plan coming into this game. And, C.J. Stroud was right there to the end. He got banged up a little bit. But you have to credit the coaching staffs, both sides. But, Steve Spagnuolo finds a way defensively to use Chris Jones, and he puts Karlaitis. These guys, they make play after play, and they have the best secondary. Look, they have the best with Reed back there and McKenzie. I think they have the best secondary in football. Okay, they cover. So whatever the call is, whether it's man-to-man, if it's blitz, if it's zone, they play it better than anybody else, and they know what to expect.
You speak of Steve Spagnuolo and his defensive prowess relative to attack and offensive. I have never seen, Vince, here if you look at this great pass rusher that they have, Jones, I have never seen a guy like that turn her loose in the middle of the line of scrimmage by offensive linemen to go block linebackers coming up. I've never seen that happen more.
Why would you let
I have
him
no
go?
idea. I have no idea.
Can't let him go.
The guy is breaking down the protection schemes of his opponents as well as anybody I've ever seen.
So you don't know what
There's
to
too
expect.
many guys coming, free.
From an offensive line standpoint, Jack, you don't know where to expect him, where he's going to line up. Because he might
Absolutely.
line up over you. He might line up over the center. He might line over
Right.
the left tackle.
Right.
He's,
And then if
they move him around.
Vince, if they bring one guy outside of him, it pushes the protection one man wide.
Yeah.
And then if that one man goes wide,
You going left,
and the
you
guy
going
doesn't
right.
come, you just turn him loose one-on-one on a guy who's got to snap the ball. It's just an unbelievable mismatch
And their
that he
linebackers,
consistently creates.
They step up, and when they come, they come.
Yeah.
And there's a reason for
now
what they
the
do.
other thing, Vince, on the other side of the ball,
Sure.
there is no way from this point on in these playoffs that I'm going to be betting against Andy Reid. Andy Reid, in my opinion, does as good a job as I have seen in my since all of my association with this game in playing situational football. If it's 4th and 1, he's got a package. If it's 3rd and 1, he's got a package. He has a package for short yards and goal line. He's got a package for his passing game. He knows exactly what he's trying to get accomplished. Yeah. And believe me, Vince, I don't think he designs home run plays until he wants a home run play. I think he designs plays to get him 2 yards here. I want 4 yards here.
Jackie,
he picks out what he wants to get accomplished
Every
with his play
week,
calling.
every week he has a scheme. He has an innovative play. Like last week, he ran preset motion. He ran a guy right over there. He ran a fake jet sweep, touch pass sweep right. You've never seen it before.
Absolutely.
And so it's not so much the trickery, but it's the innovative design
Okay, so-
and strategy
and understand
against what
Vince,
my opponent can
don't
do.
forget
and what he
this.
can't do.
You just said it. Understanding his opponent.
That's correct.
Yeah,
Understanding
and
what he can do.
So, Jackie, he has a package before game ready to go. He's got a package for everything. Yet
Everything.
he's innovative, so when he's in the game, he can switch and maybe even come up with something totally different because he is playing his opponent and he's seeing what's happening at the particular time in that game, which you can't know until you're in the game.
And then the other thing about it is you can't assume that he's got a bunch of Einsteins on his football team. Everybody's not at the same mental intellect. So he's got to do this in such a way to take advantage of the defenses in such a way where everybody is on the same page all the time.
Well, he has the Einstein or Superman at quarterback. He's got
Patrick
Mahomes, and when you have that connection between quarterback and receiver, like Travis Kelce, I mean, even Herman Edwards, who I played ball with, who was my roommate in college at Cal, and he's commented, why don't they guard number 87? Who's guarding him? Yeah. He just finds ways to get open, and I can't imagine forever thinking about how he could be wide open. You have to have somebody on him, but he's the type of player, Jackie, that can beat double coverage because they have a play they call, and they always do. They say they tag on, just get open. So they run a route, and then if the route is not there, just get open, and I'll find you.
That's it.
So it doesn't matter what you're doing. You can't find a way to cover them.
And Andy Reid is the coach, and I'll tell you one thing, and you know who you are, Travis Kelce. No more gut bumping this guy and knocking him for a loop over there. I don't want any of that.
I hope they keep showing Taylor Swift, too, because I enjoy watching her up there. I like the reactions.
I think everybody is.
Caitlin Clark was with her last week.
Yeah, she was. But the only thing I'm concerned about was that there were several women there.
A lot.
And our friend Miss, she was the only person that had a glove on her hand. So
it was probably cold in that
people
booth.
were wondering if she was engaged or something.
Maybe.
It could be. All right, let's get off that game.
Let's
Let's look at you Baltimore Raven fans. All year long, one of the best teams in football. You got that great quarterback. You got a great team. They go up against another great quarterback, Josh Allen. The Buffalo Bills beat him 27-25. What's going on in that game, starting with you, Jackie Slater?
Well, I mean, when you look at the Baltimore team, in my opinion, the reason why they faltered this past week is because it didn't run the football enough with their running back, not their quarterback, but with their running back.
It's terrible weather conditions for God's sake.
He should have been given the football pushing toward 30 times, unless he was just beat up. That was a major problem. We knew Lamar was going to get his, but when you all of a sudden are not gearing up for the big 230-pound back running down the field, and you're looking for Lamar with all these little clever little fake hands-offs and all that, now you can squeeze that offense down pretty good. That was my opinion, Vince, when when I looked at it.
Well,
that way.
I thought credit the Buffalo defense too, because they were very staunch against the run. They limited Derrick Henry running the football in the first half, so that took them away from their game plan somewhat. But 3 turnovers was the deciding factor in this game. And of all the quarterbacks, and an MVP season like Lamar Jackson will be named the MVP because that's during the regular season. But of all the quarterbacks, the 10 quarterbacks that have won multiple MVPs, all of them have had winning percentages in the playoffs. Lamar is the only one that has not had a winning percentage and has never made it to a Super Bowl.
Okay, one other
Why
stat.
is that?
One other
it's hard
stat,
to believe.
Jackie Slater, you brought this up before on turnovers. Vince, you mentioned turnovers. What's the stat you have for turnovers? How many turnovers
If you turn the football over twice,
Yep.
you have an 80% chance of losing that ball game if your opponent doesn't turn it over.
And if you turn the ball over 3 times, it's probably even worse than that. It's probably 90%
I'm sure.
chance.
So,
But my take on this in this game, I'd rather be lucky than good.
Yeah, so
Anytime.
what do
in
you
the
got?
playoffs,
Lucky
right? So
than good.
here it is.
What is it?
okay?
Come on.
It's the pass at the end of the game.
Yep.
Lamar Jackson's throwing the ball to Mark Andrews,
Yes.
his top receiver, the guy who's been dependable for him all along, and he drops a ball, hit him in the gut. So it's like, I would rather be lucky for the Bills because that would have put them in overtime, and who knows who would
I
have
was
won that game.
online and going and tweeting and sending some voicemails back and
Yeah.
forth. And one guy told me, he says, I can't believe he dropped the football. Jackie
Absolutely.
Slater, that was you.
Absolutely.
Come on.
Absolutely.
He never drops a ball.
He said he'd rather be lucky and all that. I said, what in the world? This guy has been nothing but spectacular when it comes to bailing Lamar out in passing situations. Like Kelsey, he is always open, and he makes big catches, been doing it for years. And now here we are. He fumbled in the ball game, got the ball knocked out of his hand. They lost that. That was 1 turnover. And we're not going to call this a turnover at the 2-point conversion, but he dropped the ball that hit him right in his hands.
Right in the hands.
Now, believe it or not, there are some people that you and I know who thinks that had to do with the quarterback's delivery.
Vince
The
Ferragamo,
man got hit
what
right
do
in the
you-
hands
what
and
do
he
you
dropped
say-
the
what do you say
ball.
to that?
Well, you know what? Every quarterback needs a good quarterback coach and a good offensive coordinator. And Todd Monken is one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. But you need to have a quarterback coach to work fundamentals. I don't care who you are. Okay, even Patrick Mahomes has a quarterback coach working fundamentals.
So who does Lamar
every day.
Jackson have?
I don't know who his quarterback coach is.
Whoever
but you know what?
he has
You
told
have
him
to
to
move in
throw the
rhythm.
ball to the guy
You-
and hit him in the hands.
You have to move in rhythm.
can't blame
Your
him.
arm has to come in rhythm
ball
and
was-
throw a timely pass,
Vince.
Can you
especially
believe
when
that Vince is
you
sitting here
have
blaming it?
1 or 2 yards distance to work with.
Okay, ladies,
The man
ladies and
is
gentlemen.
blaming the
It's
quarterback
critical
for
to
hitting
throw
the
a
receiver in the hands
close,
with the ball and him
accurate
dropping it.
pass.
Hold on a second here. Vince
you-
Ferragamo, you're the
Oh, my
quarterback.
goodness. I'm telling
you
you.
were trying to tell us before the show started that there's some kind of a little dance that Lamar does or whatever before he releases the ball. Does that
Dancing
affect
Queen. The Dancing Queen song.
that
If
what
he
it's
would have
called?
just had that resonated in his head, then he would have slowed his feet down right into beautiful throw. And you know what?
So how does the
Who
guy not
knows? He
catch
might
it?
have still dropped the perfect pass. I don't know. The weather was cold, but it gives you a better chance.
Okay, so seriously now, what
Oh,
about
my
the weather?
goodness.
What difference does that weather make? It's a big difference in these games.
Sometimes your hands are numb. Your head goes numb, but you still got to
Yeah.
think. You know, it's just the way it is. I mean, I've played in Buffalo before with the weather conditions, and it makes you look bad.
Isn't there
I
one
mean,
quarterback
sometimes-
that wears a glove or something?
Oh well, listen. Josh Allen wears a glove in his left hand. You never wear a glove on your throwing hand. I
Okay.
don't care what they say.
Okay.
You know, Kenny Pickett, take the glove off your throwing hand.
All I know is that these 2 eyeballs of mine.
Yeah.
was-
Jackie Ray
was-
Slater's eyeballs.
I saw the quarterback throw the ball to the tight end.
I did?
It hit him in the palms of both
Right,
hands.
the hands right there.
Just like that,
like,
and,
yeah.
and he dropped it.
And he dropped
That's
that.
all I know.
Even
Picture
I could
perfect.
catch it.
You
He was
have
throwing
to be
so well.
picture
Yeah.
perfect to win Super Bowl.
Oh my goodness.
What are your thoughts? Email us on that. We'd love to get your viewpoints. We'll talk about it next week. Email us onpoint@crntalk.com, onpoint@crntalk.com. And when you're emailing us, please enter our contest. We're giving away a Harmony cheese package with Vince Ferragamo wine, a super Tuscan blend. And we're going to give one away on today's show. We'll probably give it away in a few weeks. So enter onpoint@crntalk.com. Vince Ferragamo, Jackie Slater. We'll be back. Stay with us. We got some more games to analyze, and we got some big ones coming up. Don't go away. Welcome back on Point Live. I'm Michael Horn with the stars of our show, Vince Ferragamo, Jackie Slater, former Rams, great football fanatics here right now. They watch these games. They text back and forth, and I happen to be on the chain there. These guys are watching everything. This quarterback maniac here, Vince Ferragamo, knows everything about quarterbacks.
He see everything.
Jackie can't believe some of the things he sees, and he just goes off on them. So we got two more games to analyze from last weekend. We'll start with you, Vince Ferragamo. Philadelphia Eagles 28, the Rams 22 in terrible conditions there, but Saquon Barkley was playing away. And what do you think of that game?
Well, again, turnovers, Jackie. 2 turnovers by the Rams. The Eagles had no turnovers. They played at home. It's a story about Saquon Barkley this year. I mean, he had the 2 long runs that were backbreaking for the Rams. But I give a lot of credit for the Rams' attempt to come back in that game down 13 points with 4.5 minutes to go. They come back, drive the ball right down the field, make it look so easy. And then you think, oh, man, there's 1 touchdown away from winning this game. And, who stepped up? Jalen. Okay, Carter stepped up. He sacked Matthew Stafford, and it pretty much put a damper on them coming back to win that game. But it was a tough game. I just think that the best teams do prevail in those situations, and that's why they're the number 1 defense in the NFL. They stood up when they had to. They made the plays. Jalen Hurts played through tough pain. He came through with a knee injury. He still played. I mean,
gotta do it.
It was just,
well,
it's just great overall effort.
Jackie
in
Slater,
every phase of the game.
It was great overall effort. There's no doubt about it, Vince. But when you have 2 men on the same offensive unit that are capable of taking off with the football for 40-plus yards, and you got your hands full. Mm-hmm. And there's no doubt about it. The Rams had their hand full. Now, I'm looking at the Rams, and the thing that was the most perplexing to me as I watched this game, and I love Puka Nacua, but I'm absolutely over the moon with Cooper Kupp and his professionalism and his technique, his skill, his awareness of how to beat people. Mm-hmm. This might be the best route running receiver I've seen in all of my association with the game from the 8th grade until my 20th season. So this guy is smart. Mm-hmm. In fact, I think he and Cooper Kupp and Matthew Stafford, along with Puka Nacua,
3 quarterbacks
like having
on the field.
three quarterbacks
the
on the
Holy
field.
Trinity.
But the thing that bothered me most when I watched this game is that I did not see the ball going towards Cooper Kupp nearly enough.
I agree.
Nearly enough.
He was targeted 5 times, caught 3 passes.
But one other thing annoyed you in this game, and that's your good friend Jared Verse. The Big Mouth. Jared Big Mouth Verse over there.
First of all, let's
set him up. The comments on he talked about not only the Eagles, he talked about the fans in the stands, and that got everybody hating.
All right, wait a minute. Before we let Vince get going on this guy, because Vince has a problem with guys talking a lot of noise because most of the time the noise talkers were barking at him. I never had no noise talkers barking. I had one guy.
Well, they did, and then
what
happened to that guy?
Yeah, well,
he wished he would have never said it.
I had one guy to mouth off and everything, and then we got it all worked out. But Vince,
he worked it out.
he's always getting that, so that's why it bothers him. But when you think about, we're talking about Jared Verse here.
Yes.
Now Jared Verse is a rookie. He's the only rookie in the NFL to make the Pro Bowl. And today we just found out he is the Rookie of the Year. So, when the Rams acquired him, now this is my understanding. When the Rams acquired him, they knew exactly, you don't draft a guy that high unless you know who he is. And he didn't change his colors that much. This guy was the same guy in college that he is right now, which is always talking noise. For some guys, it gets them going. It makes them play at a different level. But the other thing that it does is if you got a whole bunch of guys that are quiet and don't say very much, you need a man like that. Mm-hmm. So it's as if the Rams went out and drafted a mouth and a very, very good pass rusher. The combination of those two, sometimes they work. And in this particular case, it's working.
You're getting it all wrong. He's a poet. His name is Jared Verse. So he has a poem or something to lay on the opposing team that ticks off someone like Vince Ferragamo when he talks.
Well, the Rams, let's put it this way. The Rams needed confidence. They were a young team. They started 1-4. They needed someone to step up and to give them a voice, okay? And everybody was listening.
Especially on the defensive side of the ball with
That's
Aaron
right.
Donald retiring.
That's correct. And so it worked. And I'm not taking anything away from his ability because there's nobody has a better work ethic than this guy, because we saw him at pre-game warm-ups, and he's working with a lather going on, Jackie. You've seen the videos that I videoed from the sideline. So this guy does have a great work ethic, and he was along with Byron Young, who may have been problematic with the team that didn't draft him, that should have drafted him.
So stop right there. You mentioned there's a problem with the teams, Jackie, know who they're going to get. They know all about it when they draft him. What about this Byron
Raiders.
Young? There was a mistake. There were 2 Byron Youngs.
There were 2 Byron Youngs coming out of the same draft.
Come on, did they know who they were going
7
for?
selections away from each other, but the Raiders selected Byron Young. And this is the guy
The
they had
wrong
called.
one.
They had 3-man line defense. So why do you need? They already have 4 defensive linemen on your team. Why do you need another one? They drafted the wrong guy, the wrong Byron Young. So that is critical. You need to know who you're going after.
It's the Raiders.
And
anyway,
that's how he would have fit, because this guy's a dynamic edge rusher. I mean, he is really, really good at what he does.
So that's right. So you got to know your players when you're drafting them as well, too. Is that right?
Well, yeah.
Hopefully,
for sure. Back to Jackie's point about Cooper Kupp and the Rams. They were using him in motion. He was wide open in most of every time he ran a route. I don't know why they just didn't throw to him almost every down. They still would be wondering,
maybe they couldn't
how
see him
did
in
the
the
Rams
blizzard.
beat us by 3 touchdowns?
Even if Cooper Kupp is closely covered, you throw him the football.
He's going to get the ball because
he's going to get the ball, or he's going to put the defender in a position where he gets called for pass interference.
And then the yak yardage, the yards after catch.
The run after catch.
Don't talk
He's
crap.
not the fastest guy that ever played the game.
I mean, Jackie, I was watching. I said, this is going to be a long day for Philadelphia, and they didn't
Kupp
throw
is
to him
healthy,
anymore.
And, the only thing I can think of is maybe that he was sucking it up and he had some issues, and McVay was.
He
trying
didn't
to
look
protect
hurt to me.
him.
Did he?
Didn't look hurt to me.
Well, I
It
gotta
didn't
tell
look
you,
hurt to me.
This is a championship
I'm not going to trash
game.
talk you, Jackie
When
Slater,
you get-
ever. Let me tell
when
you,
you
get a
get-
little
when
worked
you
up.
get-
Hey, well, give those Philadelphia Eagles coaches a
Yeah, you
really
gotta
good-
give them some
Nick
credit, a lot of
Nick
credit.
Sirianni and Vic Fangio.
Yeah, they did a good
those
job.
guys.
They did a good job.
Those guys.
But they didn't
look
cover
good.
Cooper Kupp.
All right, we got a lot more time to
They
cover
didn't
here.
cover
Could.
Cooper Kupp.
Nobody, no coaching can cover him.
Commanders, Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions supposed to win everything. 31 to Commanders, 45. Come on, that quarterback. that
Five
Daniels
turnovers
kid-
again. I think the
5
one pass
turnovers. Wow.
that Jared Goff wish he had back was the post route. He tried to throw to Williams down the middle. And that was man-to-man coverage, Jackie. And that was a little too close to throw that post route that way. You have to throw a seam route or a post that's, 55 yards down the field. Huge. Throw a big rain breaker. Break it down. But it just got away from them. And, I thought they were probably the better team. But they didn't make the plays, and they were making too many mistakes. And this guy, Jaden Daniels, oh, my gosh.
4 turnovers.
4
man.
turnovers.
5.
And then earlier there was a game. You and I were both. You were pulling me towards knighting Jared Goff as the MVP this year. He played that kind of game. He really energized that football team, and everybody in the city believed in him. And then he goes and he does what he does this past week, and now everybody's blaming him for the loss. His offensive tackle.
Pennell.
His offensive starting right tackle has come out and defended him and everything. And it's kind of sad to see because I thought he had a pretty good year.
No, the reason why they had such a great year is because of him.
Because
he's throwing the ball. He's got some great talented players to
Jared
throw the ball.
Goff still has to prove himself.
Well, wait a minute. One more thing
Yes.
before we leave Jared Goff.
Yes.
I want to know, do you think Jared Goff is going to be the same player this time next year in light of the fact that he just lost his offensive coordinator?
Ben Johnson
He's
went
going to the Chicago
Bears. I don't know, Jackie, because that's the job that needs to be understudied by Dan Campbell.
Yeah.
The head coach has to get a replacement, and it's going to be tough to find somebody of that ability to do wonders with the quarterback.
He just got Jared Goff playing at this
high level,
at a very, very high level, and now all of a sudden he's gone.
All right, now coming up this weekend, we got the championship games here, and we've got let's look at this AFC game: Kansas City Chiefs against the Buffalo Bills. Your thoughts?
Vince, I know Vince likes the quarterback. He likes the quarterback over there at Buffalo, and I like him too because he's 240 pounds. He's a physical guy and everything.
Josh Allen.
He's a big physical guy, but I'm telling you right now, situational football with talented players is what always wins. And I think that there's very few connections between head coach and quarterback like what we see with Andy Reid and his quarterback. And I think they're going to be very difficult to not only to beat in this game, but beyond this point.
Well, you know what wins these games, Jackie, is it's a team effort, right? We're talking about, like, Lamar Jackson can't do it himself. He can't be Superman in this game. Patrick Mahomes is the leader of this team, but it takes a team to win. So I like the entire team of the Chiefs better. I like their composition on defense. I like their personnel. I like offense. I like what they've done with their
You just talked about their coach.
Their special teams. They're all good. There's not one area that they can't beat you at.
Right.
And if it's going to come down to one play, they're going to make that play. I don't care if it's special teams, it's on defense, or it's on offense.
You can feel that, Vince.
It is.
I can feel that, and I hate it.
Well,
but I just
you can't beat it. You cannot beat it.
You cannot. I felt this way about the Rams football team a few years ago when they won the Super Bowl. I felt this way about the Rams football team in St. Louis when they won the Super Bowl and they had the greatest show on turf. Just been a handful of teams that I felt this way about, but this is one of them.
Okay, so I'm voting Chiefs. Anybody with me? Vince?
That's that right. We're all in unison.
All right, so we're all in there. So let's look at Washington Eagles.
Oh,
Washington Commanders against the Eagles. What do you think?
Washington has to travel. Now, they had them at home last time they played. I think they beat the Eagles at home. But but Jaden Daniels has been so much of a phenom out there this year. Just as a rookie, there's never been a rookie to go to a Super Bowl. Okay, to start your rookie season and win. But he's 25 years old.
Are you expecting a rookie meltdown?
No, I'm not. And I tell you why, because he is at the top of his game. And Mike mentioned a thing. What is that variable speed?
He uses virtual reality. In practice, he puts it on there and he runs everything at 1.75 times speed. So when he's in the game, it's slow-mo compared to what he's been studying. Man, when he sit there, he can look at people in the crowd and go, hey, wave at this guy, and then he throws the football. So this kid, he's grounded religiously. He's solid on the ground. If he keeps all that, if his coaching staff keeps him, I look for an upset here with these Washington Commanders over the Eagles.
Well, the other thing, too, Jeff,
he has
a defense that's ranked 18th in scoring. All the other quarterbacks that have went to a title game, okay, all rookie quarterbacks have had either a defense in scoring ranked 1 or second or third. Okay, 18. That means he doesn't depend on the defense to score. They will do all the scoring themselves. And I have never seen a younger quarterback like him come in the league, throw under pressure, and throw a deep pass as accurate as he can throw it.
Well, you know,
and he has a mindset that's just beautiful. He understands what he's trying to accomplish out there.
You know, it's funny. I don't know.
Got a minute left for you, Jack.
Got a minute left. I don't know if we're going to eventually start giving credit to the college players for the games that they played and the schools they're exposed to. But this guy is 25 years old. When I was 25 years old, I was in my 4th season. You were in your 3rd season. Yeah. He's a rookie, and the man has played 50 college football games at least and won a Heisman Trophy. This is not a rookie.
Yeah.
This is not a rookie playing quarterback for Washington.
Got a few more seconds left, Jackie, if you were really getting wound up. Jackie Slater.
So I like Washington. I like Washington in this game.
How about you, Jackie?
I like Washington, too.
I'm with you guys. All right, there you have it. All right, don't forget to check us out on the website, onpointlive.net. And don't forget to get to our email your name and address to us so you can enter our Harmony Cheese Vince Ferragamo wine pack we're giving away. Giving away a few of these here this season. onpoint@crntalk.com, onpoint@crntalk.com. Check us out on YouTube. On Point Live with Vince and Jackie. Coming right back up here with a prize winner. Stay with us here on CRN. Point Live. On Point Live, ladies and gentlemen. We're back with you here. Michael Horn, Jackie Slater, Vince Ferragamo. Our winner for this round of Prize Pack, and we'll be having some more here throughout the season, is David Januska from Edgewater, Florida. David, congratulations.
All the way in Edgewater.
Yeah, he says, hi,
All the way
guys.
back there by Tampa Bay.
Yeah, he says, I doubt you could find a bigger LA Rams fan than myself. Both Vince and Jackie are two of my all-time favorites. I would like to enter the contest and additionally like to know how I can get some signed memorabilia from you two.
We can get him a bottle of wine. We'll sign the bottle of wine.
Yeah,
How's that?
yeah, we'll send that out to you.
Maybe the cheese.
Yeah, the cheese too. Got another comment in from somebody. He sends to us here. This comes to us. He says, Kansas City three-peat. Buffalo finally gets a Super Bowl win. Rookie Jaden Daniels wins a ring. What are your thoughts, guys?
I think the three-peat
What
is
is
the
he
biggest.
is he wondering which one of those three subjects
Has
you
the
just
most
said would
substance.
would
Substance, yeah.
has the most substance?
Yeah.
What do you
I
think,
think
Ben?
the three-peat. I think that's one of the toughest things to ever do.
It's never been done before.
Never been done.
It's
Yeah.
been close, but never
Well,
been done before.
finally-
And I'm inclined to agree with you, Vince, but I think Jalen Daniels winning a ring would be
Well, as a rookie quarterback.
it would speak volumes for his excellence as a young
But that can
quarterback.
be done, maybe. That's a future thing
Yeah,
that can
that's
be
true.
done.
That's
It's harder
true.
to win 3 consecutive Super Bowls.
Yeah, I agree.
I
agree.
picked
That's-
Ohio State over Notre Dame. Your guys' thoughts
Will-
on that
Will
game?
Howard.
huh?
You know, Jack, you mentioned the first drive was unbelievable
it
for
took
Notre Dame, but that
right
took
down the
so
field.
much out of Leonard. He rushed the ball 9 times. He was beat after that.
Yeah, it did
series.
seem like he was kind of tired, but man, what a drive that was! And if they had put together 2 or 3 more of those, there's no way
Well,
they'd lose
direct
the
runs,
game.
running that kid right up the middle
I
every
know,
time.
I know,
You
I know.
can't make a living doing that kind
No,
of
you
stuff.
can't, you
As
can't.
Will Howard showed him later. I mean, you
Yeah.
can run it once in a while, but you got to be able to throw the ball. And that,
It's not
that
like
Smith,
it was
Jeremiah
not like
Smith.
he was Lamar.
Oh boy,
running
he's
in
going to
there.
be a future NFL star. Let me
Oh
tell you
yeah,
right now.
just a freshman. Then.
Oh yeah.
All right, so
6'4",
there you have it for us. Don't forget, enter our contest on point at crntalk.com. Get us your name and address in on that. Go to our sponsor, harmonycheese.com. Get your cheese packs. The Cheesemonger, Jackie, you say get some Harmony.
Abergele, smoked Gouda, all of them.
And Vince
The most
Ferragamo.
popular cheese is
Get
cheddar
yourself some
cheese, though.
grapes.
I'm telling
Get
you.
yourself some grapes.
And the dinner mac and
good.
cheese.
Get yourself some grapes.
Mention
That's
you
the
listen
thing.
to On Point
Some
Live.
Just simple
Put it in
Ritz
there.
salt, Ritz crackers would do the trick.
Some Ritz crackers
And
in
if
the
you
cheese.
put some raisins on, I'm
won't
telling you
stop.
right
You
now.
You know how many pounds of
He'll
cheese
keep
people
going.
consume a year? 33
He's gonna
pounds.
keep on
Then
going.
you just
Come
just
on,
a
man.
little bit of red wine with
We
that.
got to get out of here.
Yeah, just
Merlot.
sip a little
Go
red
to our
wine with that
website,
wine going on.
onpointlive.net.
You know what else I like? I
Check
like
out the On Point Live with Vince and Jackie on YouTube. They'll keep talking forever on this. They're cheese nuts over there. harmonycheese.com. See you next week. Michael Horn, Jackie Slater, Vince Ferragamo. Thanks so much for watching and listening.